baseline, and you want to work from there. Have the intention of staying flexible, pliable in life. Three more cycles of breath at your own pace. And rolling the spine upwards as you inhale, exhale and settle. Next, let's do one example of how can we strengthen our core. Okay, so how you can be This one is to work on the core, but the side core. So bring your legs together and sit the front, and feel so all the rib cage, right, is rounded towards the mat. That's gravity. I want you to up to try to be put up to the ceiling. And down. Come to the other side, just balance. Totally sideways, leg over leg, lifting the hip, and then working on not collapsing the side. Don't let it fall down, bring it up. You can also have the hand up if you wish. The focus is anyways in here, in the core. And down. Coming up. Lastly, we'll do a movement to gather, redeploy energy specifically. So, extend up and down, grab energy, pull it, and bring it. Bend the knees as you extend, piercing, grab, and place. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Let's please come to sit one more time. So we have our menu for being physically active, okay? We want to make sure that everybody has a good structure of what are the areas that we need to pay attention to and do something to care for that. Okay. 2 pressure points for anti-aging. Activating our body through the gateways of these pressure points is something that we always like to bring for you in Being Energy as a way to first know your body, and secondly, that you have tools available to you at any moment that you can do with your body to affect in some way the response. And these 2 points are, we've covered them in some other class. This what's called stomach 36. I put in the point, acupuncture point name, because you can look it up online, find exactly the location and so forth. But it's, if you put your hand on the knee and you let it, so you put the heel on the knee and you let it fall over the kneecap, where the tip of the ring finger falls, there in the outside of the leg, below the knee, in a soft area which is a muscle on the outside of the bone. That is stomach 36. And you can press on it with the index and middle finger, with the thumb, you can work it. It's a huge point that tonifies, that strengthens the energy that we can bring, you can derive from food and our daily activities. Postnatal energy means energy after birth, and both sides. And when you're tired, when it's the winter and you want to like bring a boost of energy and so forth. And the complementary point is kidney 1, which is located in the sole of the foot. So if the shoe is easy because you can divide it in 3, and in the first third, so it's not exactly in the middle of the foot, it's a little higher. Even when you press, you'll find that naturally the finger goes the deepest in that, and you massage it again with the fingers, with the thumb, both feet, and it's a key point for the what we call prenatal energy. It's essentially the essence that we come with at birth, that comes from the conception and environment in the womb during the pregnancy. So for the ones of you who were in the class where we taught you how to use the moxa to stimulate body points with heat, these 2 points are great to use with moxa. All right, so in terms of the aging process, how to offset the aging process, think of the kidneys and think of the liver. The kidneys have the storage of the energy, and the liver is the command that distributes how we use that energy. So because we live in a world that is with a lot of stress and high demands, the liver for our modern time has become maybe the most important thing, because it is constantly under pressure, under duress. And so everything that you've heard about stress and how stress affects our body systems and makes us age, think of the liver. So we want to keep the liver smooth, keep the liver flowing, keep ourselves in a flowing state, okay? So another of the keys is to stay mentally active, And this is a huge thing, okay? Our brain, I want to show you something and then we'll come back to this. Our brain needs exercise. The brain is like a muscle. We need to exercise the brain so that then it can stay active and young. The brain has 3 pounds of weight, 84 million neurons, 100,000 miles of connections. And what we're looking for specifically is to maintain the brain very active in terms of the connections. We want to always establish new synapses, new brain pathways. The conversation between the different components of the brain, that is the key thing that keeps us mentally young. Um, as we age, we want to have our body vital, but we also want to have our brain very connected, right? Very alert, functioning efficiently, clear. And for that, we need to exercise the brain. How we exercise the brain? The brain, we need two things. We need, on the one hand, we need to stimulate. We need to do new things, learn new things. Everything that maybe many of you heard about not doings. The not doing is precisely an activity that is opposite or different from our usual pattern. If I do something in a particular way, that creates a particular synapses, right? If I'm always doing it in the same way, the synapses is looping. Nothing is new. And everything that we repeat as human beings, we begin to lose attention. When something is new, automatically it rallies our attention. When something is repeated, the more we repeat it, the less attentive we become. So that makes the brain sluggish. If we do something different, something new, then we have to do different synapses to do that new action or that new way of thinking. And that keeps the brain active. Keeping the brain active means that we stimulate. See, now in science, we have a couple of areas that are in absolute explosion in terms of possibilities. And one of those areas is, one area is the microbiome, all the understanding of the impact and the relationship with our flora, with our bacteria. We have more DNA that comes from our flora, from our microbiome, than DNA that is from us humans in our body. The other area is neuroplasticity, the newfound universe where the brain can actually reshape itself. Not a done deal. The brain is very, very pliable, and we do that by learning something new, staying curious, learning a new way of doing things, and studying new things. Language is a great example. Studying a language, the activation and the wiring in the brain of language involves all areas of the brain. So you get a full total boost by doing that. So I want you to think about for a second, how can I stay more flexible? How can I be more adaptable? Adaptability of the way we operate in life is one of the components of staying mentally, physically